So, I have a little bit of explaining to do. Um, I've been gone for over a month, mainly because I had oral surgery. Um, I had a tooth that went bad and I had to have it removed. I had a little bit of issues right afterwards. I did, however, play the open beta for New World, but I was not able to stream because it was extremely hard for me to talk. So, we're going to see exactly what the devs at New World has been up to since I have not been able to stream. If you're just joining us, welcome. Be sure to follow me here on Twitch and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. But we're going to see exactly what they have been going on about. So they've come out with a few videos and also some leaks of some great weapons. And that will be interesting to see because I've heard of them, but I haven't actually seen them. So let's go ahead and see what the Chart Your Fate trailer is about.
The stories you've heard. They don't tell the whole truth.
Okay.
The island is indeed a place of legend.
Yes, it is.
There is power and vast riches as well.
Riches, you say?
But many who've sought to claim them have simply vanished without a trace. Your ship is stocked and your crew assembled.
I'm recognizing some of these areas,
Chart your
but
course
not very many
and
of
your
them.
fate. We can pretend no longer. This corruption must be stopped.
At least they are showcasing, like, the new areas.
I will say a prayer for the souls of your crew.
Okay. So, that was a little bit of an interesting, take on it. But I know we left off with one of the devs cosplaying. Well, and I believe this was an Angry Earth cosplay, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, cool. Okay, I would actually be scared had I seen that in real life. I would be totally scared. Aww. I would totally be scared of them on that one. But they did get some pictures of the dove in their costume. Dang. Wish I could just be so creative. Forever waiting for the return of his master. Barkmedes! Aww. I didn't get to go see Bartmedes. I didn't make it that far. I think that is this one, I believe. Whatever. Sorry, guys. I have to watch the ad.
Nothing like fresh mountain air to help clear your mind. Wouldn't you agree? Come, have a seat. My name is Lakina Pejitnova. I'm an antiquarian studying...
Lakina Pejitnova? Is that how you say your name? Wow, okay. That was a whole lot to take in a short amount of time. So... Can we...
Agree? Come, have a seat. My name is Lakina Pejitnova. I'm an antiquarian studying the artifacts of this...
An antiquarian, okay. Ay. Okay. I'm sorry, guys, but...
Strange and mysterious land. A person could spend an entire lifetime here and never fully understand this island's secrets. And on Aeternum, a lifetime can be measured in hundreds or even thousands of years, assuming you can keep your soul from withering.
Okay.
As you've realized by now, people do not simply die in Aeternum.
No.
The miraculous Azoth that flows through the land has changed so much, including the nature of mortality. But this eternal life comes with a cost. As the ages pass, some bodies and minds waste away, while others suffer deaths so violent and unimaginable that all that remains is a spirit of pure rage. These are the lost. Not alive, and certainly not dead. Their existence is a constant misery. They wander the lands of Aeternum, lashing out at anything that crosses their path, unable to communicate their endless pain any
Adventurer!
other way. It is impossible not to pity them. Some of them were no different than you or I. They had lives, loved ones, dreams. Now, they are nothing but phantoms and shambling corpses. But they must never be underestimated. The Lost are fearsome and implacable foes, and on Aeternum their numbers are legion. When you arrive on these shores, you will be met by the soulless remains of pirates and buccaneers who sailed here years ago.
I thought they were our crew. I thought we met our crew, if I'm not mistaken, from the Watchers.
They came in search of treasure to plunder, but all they found was a cursed afterlife. Let their fate serve as a warning against the perils of unbridled ambition, which, when unmet, can often turn to despair. These pirates are not the only lost on Aeternum. The Withered stalk inland farms and villages where they once lived before some tragedy befell them and they lost all hope. And then we have the Haunted, who are nothing but specters left behind once a body has decayed away. And all
horrible.
that is left is endless sorrow.
And
My
horror.
advice, be wary when traveling these lands at night. Never let your guard down and keep your weapons close and ready. Be especially vigilant in the region of Reekwater, for the Lost seem to be concentrated there. The Angry Earth roams this area as well, which already makes it a...
What in the world are those? Are they half human, half animal? Right here. They're not, like, upright. Is that what they are?
A perilous location indeed. But additionally, the Siren Queen and her crew have made it their home. Some say she searches for something in Reekwater. A cure for her cursed condition, perhaps? Might it have something to do with the Angry Earth and Lazarus? I shudder to think what she might find, or what she might do with such a secret. The Lost have also gathered in Windsward, around the Amrine Temple. Simon Gray led an expedition there, but I've had no word from him. I truly hope he and his loyal companion Darkomedes are safe.
We know what happened to him. Darkomedes is fine. However, Simon Cray is not.
Who would have guessed that immortality could be such a curse? I only wish we understood more about the lost. Perhaps if we did, we could truly enjoy eternal life and lose the fear of becoming soulless husks. Oh, the light's fading. You'd be wise to find a safe bed for the night traveler. Me? I'll be here, studying and watching. Come back.
Wait a minute. You have a Azovstov. It's been a long week, guys. Azov staff. Or, quote-unquote, corruption's bane. So, is she a soul warden too? Because, as some of you guys know, Giannis doesn't show us the Azov staff, but he is a soul warden. But she has one. And he does not talk about her that I know about yet. So,
Back if you ever want to help out.
oh, we'll help out. We will help out. So, from what I understand,
I get further and further.
the Lost, there is a whole bunch of them in Reekwater. So once all of us guys hit Reekwater, we are surely going to see a lot of the Lost. I didn't know that the Lost included the ghost. So the ghost of Sleepy Tallow and the ghost in Brightwood are considered lost. Good thing to know. But we did do part 1 or chapter 1 of the Legends of New World last time when I was streaming, and they've come out with second and third chapters since then. So let's go ahead and see what this is about.
Aeternum has been at war through all the long eons of this world.
Oh yeah.
Life, death, and eternity. Hope, resilience, and corruption. Different sides of the same miracle in constant tension. In this great struggle, heroes arise, fighting with all their might of arms and cunning magics, armed with only the strength of the weapons and alliances they forge, to make a stand against this horror and defy Aeternum's corruption.
So they talked about the war. But let's find out about this corruption that
Salutations.
everybody talks
I
about.
am Dr. Theophrastus Bombastus.
Can you say that again? I didn't get it.
Salutations! I am Dr. Theophrastus Bombastus.
Theophrastus Bombastus. I'm going to butcher your name. I'm going to butcher everybody's name. And I don't care.
Natural philosopher and keen observer of the world. Today we must discuss a rather dark subject that most would rather not dwell upon. Nonetheless, it affects the entirety of this land and all its denizens. I'm speaking, of course, of the great scourge of this land, the corruption.
The corruption.
No one knows the origin of the corruption or when it first appeared. Some believe it's been here all along, biding its time to surface. Others say that it spawned from the inherent evil in humanity. I believe, however, that its emergence is linked to the former masters of Aeternum, the beings we call the Ancients. You may speak to my colleague William Heron to learn more about this mysterious race. Today, however, we will discuss the terrible
Oh, we know William. Honey, we know William. William sends us all over Aeternum to find stuff that he needs because he don't want to go. We know William. Oh, somebody asked in my Discord how I'm feeling. Still a little bit of pain, but I'm good.
force they seemingly unleashed. It is believed that the corruption came about as a result of the Ancients' experiments with Azoth. Given the miraculous and unpredictable power of this substance, I find this rather plausible. But was it knowingly or unwittingly?
So, the Azoth used to be back when the Ancients inhabited Aeternum. So when in the world did Isabella come by and change this?
Whatever the case may be, the evidence shows that it was the corruption that destroyed the ancient civilization. And I dare say...
Did they just show a Covenant person? I knew it. I knew the Covenant was behind the corruption. I knew it.
I say, if we're not careful, the same fate could await us. So, what is the corruption? Some say it's Azoth, twisted into a malevolent form.
Wasn't that what you just told me beforehand? That it was the Ancients playing with it?
Others believe it is a parasite that ravenously feeds on Azoth.
A parasite. A parasite? I believe the first thing.
I suspect that it may not be of this earth. What is certain is that it invades living beings, turning them into the corrupted with the intent on spreading its influence.
No duh, Sherlock. I think we figured that out.
Over the last century, the corrupted have rallied around a nefarious figure known as the Tempest.
The Tempest? Or do you mean Captain Isabella? I think you mean Captain Isabella. The Tempest? How in the world do we know who's who? I don't know.
Whether this entity originated on the island or was shipwrecked here is not known. And this brings me to an interesting point. Why does corruption trap us here? Was it always so? Or could some other force be responsible for the storm wall? This would explain much. Any living creature can fall victim to this malevolent influence, but it appears that the dark side of a human psyche makes us especially vulnerable. Rage, pride, greed, these are the things the corruption may be drawn to. Commonly, the corrupted will take the forms of humans, although twisted into sinister forms. Their only goal appears to be the complete subjugation of Aeternum's inhabitants. One should not hesitate to destroy these creatures, for they have long lost any connections to their humanity. You will know the corrupted by a crimson glow in their eyes and by their scarlet raiments.
He didn't have a crimson glow in his eyes? Nay.
While savage and brutal, they are cunning warriors, capable of tactical fighting and trickery. Be wary when facing them. Beasts may also become corrupted and help carry out the will of their dark masters. These ferocious creatures have no regard for their own lives and will not hesitate to rip you to pieces.
Oh, I know that.
Of all the forms of the corrupted, the most dangerous is their priests. These blasphemous clerics are the leaders of this hellish legion. They use dark magic to bend living beings to their will. If encountered, you must eliminate them as quickly as you can.
Eliminate the priest first. Got it. Got it.
Finally, I would be remiss not to mention the dangerous sorceress residing in Ebonscale Reach. Empress Zhou Tai-Ying holds dominion.
Zhou Tai-Ying. I thought it was Zhao Tai-Ying. Am I mistaken every single time? I was hoping I wasn't mistaken. But I guess I am.
Over this fertile land, and she is steadily transforming it into a bastion for the corrupted. Without question, the Empress is one of the greatest threats we currently face. It is said that she amasses an army and a fleet of ships that are poised to launch a campaign across all of Aeternum. Someone will need to deal with this looming threat sooner rather than later.
By someone you mean me. Us. Adventurers. You see, guys, he's got a William Heron type of vibe to me now. That he don't want to deal with anything. All these people seem like they think that we're their minions.
This will be one of the greatest battles anyone will face on Aeternum, so be sure you are fully prepared before undertaking this treacherous quest. So that, in essence, is the corruption. Its evil must be purged from this world, and it will require great champions to see this grim task done. But if there's one thing I have become quite good at during my time here, it's the ability to spot a great champion. Go forth, intrepid adventurer.
Thank you. Thank you. And then it was closed beta. I mean open beta, sorry. I did have fun with open beta. But unfortunately it was just so short. Just oh so short. And then they did another little developer diary. So
Ebonscale Reach, like every other part of New World, is ancient. It's been around for a long, long time.
You go from this dark landscape to something lush that's verdant.
Ebonscale is an endgame zone, and with that we wanted to really ratchet up the challenge.
People have been landing on Aeternum
Scott!
since the beginning of time.
Long time no see. Everybody, it's Scott.
Some of them are out in search of Aeternum, whereas others just got here by mistake.
I got here by mistake.
Throughout history,
people have had words for Eternum. It could be, El Dorado. It could be Eden.
There were plenty of adventurers that came before us, but that's part of the excitement, is getting to learn who they were and what brought them there.
For centuries and even millennia, different cultures, civilizations have sought out this place of legend. To some people, it could be Atlantis. To others, it could be where the Fountain of Youth exists. But there's always been some draw of finding this mysterious place.
That's one of the most interesting things about this game as an artist, because we wanted Eternum to feel like this mythical place where different cultures that didn't exist near each other in real history could clash here. There's something special about that.
It is heavily based on realistic elements, but we also wanted to add some sort of new world flavor to it. We wanted to add supernatural and fantastic magical elements to it. We pulled a lot of reference from different cultures and different beauty.
Cool.
Ebonscale is different from the rest of Eternum because it was our first step into creating a totally new theme, and we wanted to create something really unique.
We really wanted the world to feel new and inviting and feel like there's always adventure over the next hill. And so Ebonscale is an example. We really wanted that to have a unique feeling to it, that it is very lush and tropical. There's this wistful, calm kind of beauty, but then also corruption and twisting to that nature. And so this like dichotomy of the different feelings that are going on there.
The mechanics of how Eternum attracts humans to its shores are somewhat of a mystery in the game. Empress Zhao Taiying from China went into voluntary exile after her brother betrayed her and took over the throne.
Ooh.
And she led her people to Eternum seeking a new life. Some humans come here because they're inspired just simply to explore. Others are specifically seeking this place. The Empress and her people were just looking for a new home at first.
In the player's leveling journey, they're at a fairly high level, almost to the level cap, when they reach Ebonscale.
We bring a whole new family of corrupted enemies. We have the corrupted musketeer, a bunch of corrupted melee, and it really brings with it a new challenge, a new set of enemies, and the POIs are super challenging.
And most powerful figure in Ebonscale Reach is the Empress, and she originally had her throne usurped by her half-brother, and she was exiled and looking for a place to settle with all her loyal supporters. And she stumbled upon Eternum and soon discovered the power that it could bestow. Part of that was making compromises with her ideals to secure that power.
Don't all of us do that when we go to Eternum? I'm just saying, don't we all do that?
Found that. Now her plan is to go back and take back what she believes is her birthright.
I myself designed Empress.
Ooh.
I wanted to design her really regal and graceful, but at the same time when she started attacking you, it's really terrifying. I looked at a lot of kung fu moves and Chinese dancing to reference her animation and attacks.
Cool.
The player will encounter the Empress at the end of the Dynasty Shipyard, which is this amazingly difficult expedition where players have to go in and they see the fleet that the Empress is building, this fleet of ships that she plans to go back and take what is rightfully hers. So the player has to go throughout the expedition, has to sort of destroy all the ships while a bunch of enemies are trying to stop them. And at the end of this, they finally encounter the Empress. So super challenging fight.
So from the team's perspective, when we're introducing new cultures, it's so important to us to properly do it. We want to make sure that this comes across as a celebration of that culture.
Creating Ebonscale Reach, the team went through months and months of research, and then also working with some of our other geopolitical teams, because what we want to do is be honorary to the source material, but we want to also view it through the lens of Eternum and the struggles that exist there.
This is the most diverse team that I've ever worked on, and we definitely try to leverage the diversity within the team as much as possible to make sure that the cultures are properly represented.
I mean, it's critical for us to get these things inspired by those cultures in the most interesting way, but again, to make sure we're being respectful and accurate.
We've just touched the surface. We have some pretty cool ideas on where we want to take the story and the journey we want to take everyone on. We just can't wait to share that with you.
Cool. So that's quite interesting that they seeked help from people to be able to help them with making sure that they were not like making that culture look bad or feel bad. Oh. I wish I took a lot of pictures. 36 hours? Josh OG! Oh my god, 36 hours. The dev team would definitely be kicking me off the server by then. For 36 hours. Oh, the last day of beta. I hated that. And then they did the map. And we'll take a look at the map later on. But they had a couple questions for all of us. One of them being, in the heart of Eternum, a tall monument with mysteries beneath it burrows serves as a timeless reminder of the ancients' powers. This monument is known as, and it was the Shattered Obelisk. And then the second one, in which settlement can you find wirewood trees? This one I didn't know. But apparently you can find wirewood trees in many locations throughout Eternum, especially in Morningdale, Brightwood, and Eden Grove. So if you guessed Morningdale, it was half right. I thought I saw some in Brightwood when I was playing, but they said which settlement. So it would have been a few of them. And then the last question was, which location was once home to the weavers that gave the fen its name? And the answer was Carburg. This is an abandoned town with nothing left but the tattered remains of the weavers' city. Oh, that wasn't the last one. What mountainous region that peers over the northern edge of Eternum has a settlement of evil and corruption? Shatter Mountain. And I am speculating that at Shatter Mountain is where you will see the Tempest, or as I would love to call her, Captain Isabella. Then the last one was, a settlement packs a stench so strong it attracts only the bravest adventurers to explore its dangers, and that was Reekwater. And yeah, did you smell Reekwater? But this has been me the last couple of days of waiting for Eternum to open back up. I would love to say thank you to the devs for the soundtrack that they actually sent to the creators. So thank you so much. And it's time to get this very busy week started. Oh, that is a good photo. I need to find out where that's at. And then they talked about the origins, inspiration, and collaboration leading to the creation of the sounds and music found within New World. And they actually released it to anyone who has Amazon Music. So let's go ahead and see exactly what Scott and the team did for the music.
Amazon Games' New World is a game that feels epic everywhere you look. From the lush, verdant forests of Windsward to the desolate crimson wastes of Shattered Mountain, every inch of the land of Eternum feels alive and brimming with possibility. But a world cannot exist in a vacuum. To truly make a game sing, you need to fill it with sound. Every strike of an axe against a tree, every scrape of sword against steel, every roar from a terrifying beast. It all helps to create a believable world that you can lose yourself in. And it all needs to work with a soundtrack underpinning the entire experience, immediately telling you what kind of world you're arriving in before you've even set foot on dry land. New World's audio director Jean-Edouard Miclot knew that Eternum needed to have a soundtrack that could be both grand and intimate. It needed to feel epic, but also believable. For inspiration, the team looked to one of the most successful fantasy franchises of all time, Game of Thrones. With this show, Ramin Djawadi created some of the most iconic and evocative themes in television history. Naturally, he would be the perfect fit to bring the sounds of Eternum to life. Ramin teamed up with Brandon Campbell, who he had worked with on Game of Thrones and Westworld, to start figuring out the sound of the game.
So we started the conversation with them long before we had a game. Everything changed when Ramin and Brandon joined the team. Something really big was starting to happen.
Patrick Gilmore actually reached out and just pitched a game to us, actually. He said, look, there's this game, it's a huge world, and he just kind of started describing it to us and immediately caught our attention, and we said, oh my god, this sounds amazing. The thing we thought was very exciting about this game was that it was a blank slate. We really had to start from scratch. That's also a challenge, obviously, at the same time, but that's what's exciting about it.
Getting something off the ground for the first time is also kind of frightening and challenging at times.
Ramin and Brandon were brought on board at an early stage of the project, and as such, they were presented with something of a blank slate to work with. While creating a soundscape for a world that hasn't yet taken shape was a daunting task, the pair approached it with cautious excitement.
The beginning is definitely the slowest part, right? You start from scratch, you try to figure out your tone, your instruments, your melodies.
The first step is writing themes and figuring out like instrumentation and everything in terms of process, and then we'd experiment more. Maybe we record some solo instruments on our own in here, or maybe we'd bring in some soloists to really kind of figure out what the sound of the game is. And as music is then being implemented and being put into the game, we then go and record the live orchestra, and then that gets replaced in the game with what our original demos were.
I thought I had a huge desk. Oh. That shows up my desk. Jeez, I thought I had a lot of equipment on mine. Shows me that I need a new desk.
The nice thing about composing for a game is that it's so drawn out. And even in the beginning, we didn't have a lot of visual references, so we just kind of got to experiment and come up with melodies and thematic material and different soundscapes. For a game like New World, we were never writing to pictures, so we just got to write 2, 3, 4, 5-minute pieces of music without worrying about hitting specific sync points. So it gives you a lot of freedom musically. You have to stay within a certain emotion or vibe or something, but it gives you a lot of freedom to just write nice pieces of music. And because there's so much more music and the world's so much more vast and players play, a feature film's 2 hours, gameplay is going to be thousands of hours for this. Use a lot more instruments and there'll still be a lot more cohesion because there's so much more music.
Games like New World aren't built in a day. And in these early stages, the composers had very little to guide them on their path to creating an appropriate score. To help spark their imagination, Amazon Games provided the duo with early concept art and designs for inspiration.
At first, there was not much, which actually was kind of fun. I mean, it's that thing where you start with so little, and then it's like, how do you try to narrow it down? So, and then we were asking for give us anything that you have at this point. So it literally started with just sometimes the costumes or just some landscape design. I get very influenced by colors, so I get very inspired.
As the game progressed, we get some playthroughs and we'd see characters running through different areas and levels or fighting one another.
We weren't trying to pinpoint an authentic time period or anything because it's just a different world, right? So it gave us the creative freedom to just get to react to what we were seeing and just attach a sonic landscape to it.
For a world as vast and diverse as Aeternum, the sounds and instruments used had to be equally varied to help ground the player in a sense of place befitting of the many regions of the game's world. But variety was an aspect of scoring that Ramin and Brandon embraced.
We used a lot. We used a lot. Obviously, we used the orchestra quite a bit, and we used traditional choir quite a bit, but we used solo singers, and we used solo instruments, mandolin to fiddle to accordion to ethnic woodwinds to anything we could think of it. We were trying to just really get wide, and then we used a whole bunch of different types of percussion. And
it was a dream job in a way for a composer because we could just look for any instrument and thought, what, we haven't used this instrument yet.
Steel drums. We used steel drums.
Could this possibly work? And we're like, it does work. Let's put it in. And so we just nerded out and we just had fun with it.
Yeah, the one that's used most often in the game was that big drum that I found in New Mexico. Well, the biggest thing about it was just big. We kind of like big, deep drums, but it's beautiful. Someone, I don't know how long these take to make, but it's a beautiful piece of craftsmanship. They take out a big tree, they cut and they hollow out, and then they stretch over animal skin over both sides of it. It's got a beautiful tone, and I loved watching some of the musicians in Taos play it, and I just thought it was just a beautiful sound that would be get a lot of mileage out in the game. We used quite a bit of synthesizers on the game as well. We use synthesizer besides from an arrangement standpoint also because you can create kind of sounds that acoustic instruments can't play without kind of some type of manipulation. So you play something that you listen to and you're like, I'm not exactly sure what that is. It kind of sounds maybe like a flute, but it's also not a flute. And so you can kind of create little otherworldly sounds with synthesizers, which is great for something like New World because it's rooted in the real world, but it's a fictional land. So we tried to have some kind of otherworldly sounds in there.
Yeah, and I think just as we were looking for as many different instruments as possible to have just a versatile score, we felt that synthesizers are just as much part of the palette that we're allowed to use because they're another great addition to add more color to these tracks.
You can hear these more electronic sounds from the synthesizers used to evoke fear in They Watch. Or hint at the cosmic forces in Miracle of Azoth. contrast, acoustic sounds were used to inspire feelings of community or hope, which brings us to the game's main theme, simply titled Aeternum.
That was one of the first tracks we worked on, right? That was the one where we tried to identify and capture the overall mood of the game.
We definitely reference it even in other tracks that are playing a different type of theme or something. It was kind of like our anchor to, because we said instrumentation and color-wise and dynamic-wise, we kind of end up kind of all over the place. And so we were always able to anchor it back to our game by referencing little motifs from the main theme.
Yeah, and I think because there is so many different tracks, it is kind of nice to think of it as this one theme that is kind of the core of it all.
In their experimentation, the pair devised several unique sounds to represent the various factions and enemy types in the game. For the Angry Earth, they combined pounding drums with eerie choir vocals, creating an ominous but otherworldly feel. For the Corrupted, they used staccato strings to create a sense of dread. While the Lost's themes incorporated synthesizer sounds to instill a feeling of discomfort. The Ancients, being the precursors to all of the various enemy types, used a mixture of all these disparate elements. But it wasn't just the music that gave the enemies authenticity. The sound team devised entire languages for the creatures of Aeternum to use.
Regarding voices, we now have VO localized in 8 languages, but we also created 3 unique languages for the Corrupted, the Ancients, and the Lost. Each language has 4,000 words with present, past, and future tenses, and complete grammar and conjugation. So I could say, for example, in the Corrupted language, Mahiveb, Kin Bipanugo, Tetak Nom, Mabmafibi, Kobam Biwunge, Dempapokaya. And that would mean, I see where they live. Come with me if you want to eat fresh meat.
Beyond the score,
if he didn't tell me what exactly that meant, I've been like, price check on that one. I had no clue what that meant. I'm only learning German. I'm not learning anything else right now, guys.
it takes hundreds, if not thousands, of ambient sounds to create a world that feels alive. From the rustling of tree branches in the wind to the sound of a spear striking a shield, a huge library of sound effects was required to give Aeternum the level of detail it deserved.
No trees were harmed in the making of New World. But yet they were also destroyed in New World. I love that they put that on there. Or rocks. Okay.
I come from a small village in the northeast of France called Saint-Nabord, and during my many trips to visit family, my dad would come with me to help me record the sounds in the forest just 5 minutes drive from their house, and would take ropes, would wrap them around the trees and pull them slowly to get a long cracking sound. Hearing those sounds in a live game reminds me of those intimate father and son moments. I'm pretty happy with how the musket turned out after recording the Civil War reenactment in Huntington Beach. We had authorization to place all our microphones on the field and around the cannons and close and far away from the muskets. You see, I feel that commercial sound libraries tend to focus too much on the blockbuster experience, and we're more looking for documentary style recording, so we knew we had to record it ourselves. And the musket shot right now is pretty complex. It changes over distance with the direction, but it also has different reflections for the different biomes and the different indoor locations too. For the sound effects, I think it comes from the level of details. Your voice gets muffled and resonates if you put a helmet on. You can also hear the rustle of your shirt or your leather coat all the way to the tinkle of your metallic armor. And we also added sounds for the sword on your hip or the bow that you have equipped on your back, all the way to the shield that you carry. You see, we wanted the player to feel the weight of every weapon.
So if I use voice chat in the game and have a helmet on, I'm gonna sound muffled. Okay. I didn't think about that. I truly did not think about that when I had thought about the music in the game of if your character would actually sound muffled with a helmet on.
But there's a catch. The heavier you get, the louder you become too. For the ambiences, if you go under the rain, you will hear the drops falling on your leather coat, but it will sound like tinkles if you wear metallic armor. That rain actually changes if you're on the road or if you're on the grass, and if you go inside a wooden house. And it will change also if you're inside a tent. Yes, you'll actually hear the drops falling on the fabric above your head. The ambience is actually driven by the assets, so if you are in a forest and some players chop down all the trees, the sound of the wind in the pine trees will actually gradually fade out to complete silence.
Through music, languages, and sound effects, the sound team has designed a world that feels real and tangible, no matter what activities the player is participating in. This is thanks not only to the almost boundless creativity of the talent involved, but their enduring spirit of collaboration.
This was the first, even though not release date-wise, but starting date-wise, it's the first time I got to collaborate with Ramin as a co-composer. And so dynamically, our relationship was just a little bit different than it had been previously. And getting to work on melodies and themes and music with him was really kind of a special experience for me. And, I'm really proud of the music we came up with for this game. It will always have like a very kind of special place in my heart.
We also recorded the Prague Orchestra a few times because we can't fake live performance. Musicians add their own layers of interpretation, and it just makes everything more real and organic. Collaborating with them was a dream come true for me, but now might be the best time for you to judge it by yourself. Go listen to the soundtrack or come join us in the game and tell us what you think. See you in a tournament.
Oh, I'll tell you what I think. You want me to be a critic? I'll be a critic. So then, like I said, they released the soundtrack. And the same day as the soundtrack released, they announced the server list for the game. Now, me and my company, the Hellfire Coalition, I think we have chosen a server, but I don't think it is 100% yet. I think we get to make that decision tomorrow, I think. But I'm going to let you guys figure it out. Because I may play a little bit of hide and seek with you guys if you're interested. But this is the NA East server. They have NA West servers. They have Central Europe servers. They have Australia and South American servers. So just keep that in mind. And we would take a look at the map here. And then they just recently added the Azoth tree in Berlin, Germany. So, you guys, if you are located in Germany and are near Berlin, please, please, please go and see the Azoth tree. That was what was the hints and everything on the scavenger hunt that they did on the map when they released it. And if you can, take a picture of it and either link it to me in my YouTube comments, or let me know that you took a picture of it in my Twitch streams whenever I do go live on Twitch. But let's go ahead and see exactly what they did. So the 26th and the 27th. So it's starts tomorrow in Berlin, Germany. A new season begins in Eternum. Ooh, a lot of concept art. And then they finally released Chapter 3.
An island outside of time, where fate is forged anew each day, shaped and reshaped by the wills and souls of those who call it home. Now fate has chosen you, given you a second chance in life, to join the struggle of ages and mythic powers, to choose your allies, to fight, to carve a new destiny.
And oh wow. Wish I got a package. So 3 days until a new world hits. So, the soundtrack. We are going to go ahead and listen to that soundtrack a little bit here. So, greetings adventurers! After players ventured through the land of Eternum in our alpha and beta test, we received an overwhelmingly positive response to the immense sound effects and beautiful music those players experienced on their journeys. Every sound in New World has a story. That's a little bit too loud. There we go. From the sharp crack of musket fire ringing out across the battlefield to the Forstein echoes as players fell trees to the music that heightens epic moments or soothes the player on a long journey across the fields, forests, and mountains of Aeternum. To showcase some of those stories and give players some insight into the process, we wanted to pull back the curtain and share how our team worked to create the sound effect and collaborate with renowned composers Raymond Dewani. I'm gonna butcher his name. Raymond Dewani and Brandon Campbell to make the New World soundtrack. Behind the scenes, the making of New World's sounds. So I'm pretty happy with how the musket turned out after recording the Civil War reenactment in Huntington Beach. We had authorization to place all of our microphones on the field and around the cannons and close and far away from the muskets. We sat down with New World's audio director Jean-Edouard Maclet, along with composers Raymond Dewani and Brandon Campbell, to discuss how their collaboration began, the inspiration and process behind the musical tracks and sound, and how those sound and music fit into the world of Aeternum. So we did watch the interview, and it is available on Amazon Music. So if you already have Amazon Music installed on your computer, you should be able to go to the link and it will take you to the New World soundtrack. If you are currently not a Amazon Prime subscriber, you can try it for 30 days. So and then we were talking about the Azoth Tree coming to life. Greetings, adventurers! In celebration of New World's launch next week, we're collaborating with the expert staff of Urban Scene and Yongwan Matt to set up a light projection of the Azoth Tree in Berlin, bringing the iconic landmark in Aeternum to life in our world. You can find the Azoth Tree at Natakernomazum. I butchered it. Available to visit on September the 26th and 27th by all those nearby and interested. For anyone who can't visit the tree in person, like myself, streamer Hoff will be hosting a Twitch stream where the audience can help shape the fate of the Azoth Tree and earn epic prizes for doing so. Ooh. Keep an eye on at Play New World and our other social channels for more information. And then it gives the exact location in Berlin. So more details about this live stream. It is on September the 27th, which is on Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. UTC time. So that will be 2 o'clock Eastern time, my time. During the live stream, the streamer will display pieces of New World content and ask corresponding trivia questions. If the audience works together and answers correctly, they will receive pieces of a special Azoth code. By the end of the stream, the audience will be able to piece together the full code, which allows them to participate in sweepstakes in a New World-themed Alienware battle station. One Alienware battle station will be given out to each of the following regions: United States, United Kingdom, Germany, and France. Devs, you forgot to put "and France." To be eligible for prizes, participants must reside in that country. Further instructions on how to participate, a link to the terms and conditions, and an FAQ on the sweepstakes can be found below. So the grand prize will receive one of each of the following pieces of gear for a complete gaming station: an Alienware M15R6 gaming laptop, an Alienware 27 gaming monitor, an Alienware low-profile RGB mechanical gaming keyboard, an Alienware 7.1 gaming headset, and an Alienware wired and wireless gaming mouse. Ooh. Not my taste, but if I win, I win. If I don't, I'm not gonna be mad. So, the sweepstakes information and how to enter. In order to participate, you will need an Amazon account. So guys, you will need an Amazon account in order to win the sweepstakes. Once you have an Amazon account, you'll need to access the Amazon sweepstakes page from your region and fill out the form asking for the special Azoth code. The special code can be obtained after watching the stream. So you can only get it after watching the stream. Keep that in mind. The 4 qualifying countries are the United States, the United Kingdom, France, and Germany. During the live stream, the content creator will display pieces of New World content and ask trivia questions. If the audience works together and answers correctly, they will receive pieces of the special code. By the end of the stream, the audience will be able to piece together the full code, which they can enter into the form on the Amazon sweepstakes page. Once the participant enters and agrees to terms and conditions, they will have a chance to win the battle station for their region. The full terms and conditions and rules for eligibility can be found on the regional Amazon sweepstakes page, and they happen to link it, guys, for you here. How are the winners chosen? The potential grand prize winner will be randomly selected from eligible participants. How are the winners contacted? Winners will be decided at the end of September. Well, the game releases the end of September. And will be contacted through the email address submitted in the form when entering the sweepstakes. Restrictions. To enter the sweepstakes, you must be 18 years old or older. The entry is limited to 1 entry per person per region. Only participants residing in the United States, United Kingdom, France, and Germany are eligible for the prizes, and they will see you in Eternum. So, remember that is on Monday that this stream is available, and it is only available to the United States, United Kingdom, Germany, and France. And we're going to go ahead and see exactly about the New World launch details. So, they released this on Thursday. Greetings, adventurers! Once again, next week on September the 28th. Ooh, it has been a long week if I think it's going to be November. New World will be launching. The past few years of alpha testing, preview events, and our recent beta tests have been critical in helping us prepare for launch. We couldn't have done it without you, without your participation, feedback, and enthusiasm. We wanted to put together a premiere so you, your friends, and communities can fully prepare for launch and ensure you're not missing out on any of the exclusive content available. Ooh, we got some content, guys. We've also included our servers' names, locations, and recommended languages so you're ready to hop into the same world as your friends when the gates of Eternum open next week. So, server launches. And this has been a big topic on Twitter. So, New World's launch is a unique moment when Eternum is an unclaimed land of opportunity, and the ability for you and your company to organize, progress, and claim your territory in an exciting event as you establish a foothold to defend and develop. We want that initial land rush to feel fair to all of our players around the world. We paid close attention during closed and open beta to your feedback on when servers went live. When planning on our server launch times, we took fairness and your feedback in mind and have designed a server rollout we hope will support the majority of our players. We took local times into consideration and will launch in the following order. So EU servers will launch on the 27th at 11 p.m. or 8 a.m. their time. South American servers will launch at 8 a.m. their time, or the 28th at 4 p.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. Pacific time. Australian servers will launch at 9 p.m. Australian time or 4 a.m. Pacific time. Oh. Ooh. 8 a.m. Eastern time. Ooh. I gotta get a good morning that day. So 8 a.m. my time is when I will start the launch of New World. Whew. That's gonna be an early morning and a long day, guys. Or 5 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah, right. 5 a.m. Pacific time. Whew. And then 8 a.m. Pacific time for the West Coast servers. So for Australia, to provide the best possible experience at launch, we've decided to open our Australian server at a time that aligns to the larger global rollout. Following the 8 a.m. pattern for Australia would have resulted in it being a different day than other regions due to the time difference, and we wanted the region to be able to share in the launch community elsewhere in the world, like streams and website posts. To help clarify the information, please check out this handy dandy map of global launch times. Ooh. I like that. Okay. So 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning at my time, I will be launching New World. Oh, my day. Oh, my back and my head will hurt. For those interested, in the full list of launch servers can be found below the Twitch and Prime Gaming content sections. Ooh. Twitch drops, everybody! So, they have the Vinespun weapon skin. All of the 66 awesome content creators who participated in the battle for New World have been granted access to a Twitch drop exclusive to their channels for the first 2 weeks after New World launches, alongside with some free copies of the game to give away to their communities. Not me, guys. Sorry. I didn't get chosen. Be sure to tune in to their channels at launch to receive the Vinespun weapon skin set. You can find a full list of participants who will have access to the Vinespun weapon skins and links to their Twitch channels at the Battle for New World leaderboard page, which is linked right there. And below is a picture of the weapon skins. I don't see where it's at. Vinespun. I was expecting, like, you know, vines, but okay. Prime Gaming content. So those who do have Amazon Prime Gaming or Amazon Prime, be sure to check out the Prime Gaming to enjoy tons of free exclusive content to their favorite PC, console, and mobile games. Plus, you can claim a collection of PC games for free every month that are theirs to keep forever, and a monthly Twitch channel subscription. I don't accept subscriptions just yet. I'm looking to do that with growing my channel. Right below is how many followers I have and what my goal is. Be sure to make sure I reach that goal on launch day. and I do take advantage of their free games. Prime Gaming's selection of in-game content and free PC games is always growing and rotating to stay fresh with new items and free games added each and every month. They have great games, guys. Just not trying to say, hey, look at this, but they do have some good games. New World will have a variety of free exclusive items available through Prime Gaming, and we'll be kicking things off with the Pirate Pack. Arr! The first pack will be available starting on New World's September the 28th launch and can be claimed until November 1st. This pack includes an exclusive pirate character skin and pirate stance emote, alongside 5,000 marks of fortune. So I guess that's the in-game currency. A premium currency used to buy the cosmetic items from the in-game store. Yep. The second pirate pack will be available beginning October the 12th and can be claimed by Prime Gaming members until November the 1st. Both of them by November 1st. Got it. It will include more exclusive pirate-themed goodies with a pirate sword skin, a finger across the throat emoji, and a 3-pack of Crest for your company. So players who are not currently Prime members that are interested in exclusive New World drops can sign up for free for a 30-day trial. Now after that 30-day trial, it will be some money involved. Keep that in mind. So, server launches. The servers listed below are initial recommended language servers we created for New World's launch. Each server holds thousands of players simultaneously. We also have additional servers held in reserve, and we'll add the reserve servers and adjust newly created servers based on the demand in our supported regions. We started with the data servers based on player interest and our ability to service them well, while AWS or Amazon Web Services operates all over the world. We will have to make sure we can operate well in the area before launching there. With that in mind, we will be looking into other server locations post-launch. So keep that in mind. Post-launch, they will bring in some more servers. A tournament is a place of a legend. So our servers use the name of legendary realms from mythology. Methodology. I can't talk, guys. Mythology. Such as homes of various gods, the underworld of mythical cities, and magical places from various cultures. For the server listed below, the ones with recommended languages are exactly that. Recommended. For the mutual enjoyment of those interested in adventuring and using that language together. They recommend language shouldn't be interpreted as a restriction or a requirement, and many are left to be a free-for-all. So, the list and we are excited to welcome you all to Eternum. This is just the beginning. So guys, it has been interesting to look and see exactly what the devs have been up to. But a little birdie told me they have some weapons, and so apparently these are called the Void Gauntlets. They do look very, very similar to the Ice Gauntlets. But what the Void Gauntlets contain corruption. Ooh. There's some of them in action. Ooh. They are very, very detailed. That's a whole different thing. What is that? But that is it for today. I want to go ahead and say another thank you to the devs of New World for providing me this soundtrack. I love the music for New World, and since I had surgery and they released this is the only thing that I have been able to sleep to. So New World devs, thank you for letting me sleep. Hopefully I won't sleep during the game. But this has been very, 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 very interesting, and I hope to be able to see you guys on Tuesday. So I plan on streaming on Tuesday, right whenever the servers open up, maybe right before I'll start. And then after that, I will see about maybe doing a few streams the coming days afterwards. But definitely will be doing some streams on Saturdays and Sundays following the launch. Now, in a few days, we will be starting our Spooktober event again. So I need some recommendation for games for Spooktober. A few people have asked for me to bring back The Sims. I've thought about that. And for me to continue a few of the other games. And we will see exactly what I have available to myself. I know I did Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. I didn't finish yet. And I know I did Silver Chains. But I need a few other things to play during Spooktober. But anyway, guys, have a great day. Have a great night wherever you are in the world. And I will see you guys on the next video or the next stream. Be sure to follow me here on Twitch to gain my followers and to subscribe over to my YouTube channel if you do happen to miss out on any of my streams. Ooh, this is intense! But anyway, guys, have a great day. Have a great night wherever you are in the world. And I will see you guys on Tuesday for the launch party. Bye.